Wise Man's Grandchild is an anime that I think fondly of. It's something that inadvertently introduced me to my current best friends while I was in a networking group run by probably the worst person in AnyTube to associate with. Honestly, it was one of the best decisions of my life to watch this anime. This series follows our protagonist, Shin, who gets reincarnated into another world after walking into the street absent-mindedly and meeting with good old Truck-chan. He ends up living most of his life in seclusion with the man who adopted him, but because of how his grandfather Merlin raises him, he turns out to be less than personable, and he's completely ignorant about the world around him. The only thing that Shin really knows when you first see him is how to fight with both magic and a weapon, but he gets sent to a magic academy as a way to learn about the world while his grandfather keeps him in check. He's very much a blank slate of a character early on, but you see him grow a lot throughout the series as we learn about this world around him. Shin is not quite an antisocial character like the synopsis says he is. Ironically enough, he's kind of a dumbass more than anything, though he does manage to have a certain charm about his personality that makes him admirable, even through the awkward moments. As he learns more about this world, the audience also gets to realize exactly how little Merlin actually taught Shin outside of his training. Of course, he actually does learn from these experiences and uses them to grow, especially considering some of these moments in the series carry a lot of weight, and Shin's ignorance is one of the stakes. While our beloved protagonist is fairly gifted, the series doesn't revolve solely around him to solve every conflict. They actually have him teaching other classmates how to use magic as strong as his, which is something you don't really see in the isekai genre. In this genre, with the way that the gifted or overpowered protagonist trope is written, it typically gives them so much power to the degree that a common person will never be able to achieve that strength. Shin, however, is one of the only protagonists within this trope that I've seen where the people around him gain strength to where he doesn't even qualify as overpowered anymore. He even trivializes this power of his because all he's doing to strengthen himself is applying basic modern world knowledge towards this world's magic theory. The direction the story takes with Shin is a pretty interesting choice. It manages to serve as a form of world building while also being entertaining. It even makes you think about the fact that Shin's knowledge can forever change how this world uses magic. While it's not something that would immediately take effect in this world, it's excellent food for thought. Demons are the central enemy faction in this, but they're in a form that you don't commonly see. In this anime, instead of demons being their own race, they're more like a sort of entity that possesses people or animals. They only appear within this world if something or someone meets very specific criteria, such as messing up a spell that is above someone's ability, or amassing way too much power in a short amount of time. This part alone is a really nice touch to the story because it sets up a possible future stake that Shin's classmates or even himself could possibly come across in the future. Wise Man's Grandchild is undoubtedly a fun anime, but it does start a tad bit slow compared to other similar series. The story is a tried and true staple for a fantasy anime, so it doesn't do anything overly fantastic. The deviations that the story takes, however, is what makes this story much more unique and enjoyable than what you'd expect. In a way, this anime is a diamond in the rough. What it lacks with its story, it makes up for with its character and overall enjoyment. This anime honestly should have gotten a lot more positive attention from the Western audience than what it did. It stood out from the other isekais, and it was really cool to see a show in this genre that wasn't in the Middle Ages. There's not too many of those out there. All other things aside, I do hope you'll check this out. This anime was treated unfairly by big AniTubers and their fanbases solely because of how it looks and not because of its merits. There was even a meme running around saying that all isekai villages look the same while using 3 images of the city from this anime. That really shows you how little people actually know about this genre. And that's all I want to talk about here. I don't want to end up saying too much about the series. This anime is in its best form when you experience it firsthand. It's something I highly recommend, and it's the second best isekai to come out of 2019. From the way the characters are handled, to the uncommon nature of this isekai, or even how the magic system in this series works, it has a lot to love about it. I'm sure there's even some uniform fetishes out there that enjoy this solely because of how sweet the school uniforms look. I hope you'll give it a watch, or if you've dropped it, I hope you'll give it a second chance, because I can assure you that this anime is great. Even if you don't like it for its plot, I'm sure you'll find something that you'd personally love about it.